how many of your chess books have you actually read cover to cover? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about chess books. As somebody who has many piles of unread, neglected chess books, I think that when people ask me about which chess books they should buy, it is out of the desire to hoard and to purchase things associated with the hobby that they have. Some of you will be offended by this, but I think a lot of you will be in denial. I have many chess books that I literally left behind in another country when I decided to move because I just don't pick them up often enough. It is not my favorite way to study chess, but I have a lot of books and it is a question I see all the time. That being said, of course I have read some of my chess books and I would like to recommend to you the ones I think are actually useful and good for beginners or good for, in general, improving players, because I actually don't think that beginners should read chess books. I don't think that they're helpful. I think the thing that's most helpful for beginners is playing games and analysing your mistakes with a higher rated player or a friend or just the game review engine if you don't know anyone else who plays chess. So chess books would not be my first recommendation for you, but for improving players, I of course do have some favourites. So if you want a chess book that will help you with attacking and checkmating, then I would recommend you The Art of Checkmate. This book has pretty much every checkmate pattern, explanations of them, as well as quizzes and solutions. So you have a lot of puzzles you can work through if you are, for example, going on a flight and you won't have, Wi-Fi. I cannot tell you how often my students miss forced checkmate in their games, and if you train your checkmate pattern recognition, then you will just simply win more games. This book is from the 1950s, but it is still very, very useful because checkmates haven't changed since the 1950s. A lot of chess has, but how to checkmate hasn't. A good partner to this book for attacking would be The Art of the Attack by Vladimir Vukovic, which is quite an old book. It's also been uploaded as a Chessable course. It's a great book for attacking. It's very eye-opening. The first few pages even are very difficult for a non-attacking chess player, and obviously it gets harder as it goes on, but it's a really, really, really instructive book, so I'd recommend both of these. If you're looking for a book on middle games, I would recommend How to Reassess Your Chess by Jeremy Stillman. This is the accompanying workbook, which I also love, and it has a lot of the explanations from the book, but in the form of puzzles and problems. If you're not familiar with the concepts that he explains, then you definitely do need the original book too. It is probably the best intermediate middle game book I've ever seen. It is aimed at 1400 plus FIDE, so if you are lower rated than that, you might find it challenging. And if you are lower rated than that, then you can try out the Amateur's Mind, which is a chess book also by Jeremy Stillman, where he basically looks at lower rated games and explains mistakes that lower rated players make. Once you are done with the Amateur's Mind, you can then move on to How to Reassess Your Chess. And honestly, these books changed the way that I view chess. Obviously, that's the title of the book, Reassessing Your Chess. That's the whole point. But they actually do that. And honestly, he's quite funny as well at times. So chess can be quite dry. I'm looking at some chess books over there that I shall not name that are quite boring. But these ones are very good. And if I could only recommend one chess book, might be How to Reassess Your Chess. There's also a very rare picture of Jeremy Stillman himself inside, who I literally couldn't find pictures of on Google. Rest in peace, Jeremy Stillman. I believe he has now passed. Thank you so much for your amazing contribution to chess. I would highly recommend the Steps books. They go all the way from step 1 to step 6. By the time you've completed step 6, you'll be a force to be reckoned with. I have not completed step 6. Just so you know, I am on step 4. But I really enjoy these. I think they are originally from the Netherlands, but they have multiple languages inside, and they're essentially puzzle workbooks that go through different types of tactics and endgames as well. And actually they're really hard puzzles. They're never as simple as you think they're going to be, and they always show the puzzle from white's perspective, even though sometimes you're playing as black. So as well as the standard step books, you also have additional step books. This one is called Thinking Ahead. So it focuses on visualization, which is a weakness of literally every chess player. Would really recommend it. Basically, for a lot of the puzzles, they will give you an image of a position, then they will give you several moves that you have to visualize, and then you must solve after those moves have been made. So you're not solving the position you have, you're solving a position you've visualized a few moves ahead, or there are also blindfold checkmate puzzles in there, lots of other things. That is actually how I first tried any kind of blindfold or visualization, so I would really recommend. As you can see, mine are a little bit beaten up. Step 6 truly terrifies me. I think that it's so rare that people get to step 6. It's the only one that's not translated. It's only in Dutch. Because just no one gets to step 6 because it's so hard. But honestly, they're really good. If I knew what toegang meant, I'm sure that would be really helpful for me, but I'm not that far. Sorry, I don't speak Dutch. But no, I really would recommend these. I think actually if you're looking for books that will carry you all the way through from beginner to advanced, the steps books will literally just be that. The reason I know about them, I remember somebody once asked me like, how do you know about those? Like a Dutch person asked me, because they were like, we have those in the Netherlands, but like, do you have them elsewhere in the world? Basically, I had a coach for a while who was giving me lessons on stream. Shout out to National Master Laura Smith. And she always used the steps books for her students, and thankfully I was able to have them gifted to me by the publishers. So this isn't sponsored, and this was like 2 or 3 years ago that these were gifted to me, by the way, but I have continued to use them since, even though Laura doesn't coach me, and even though I have no association with the steps people, but I really like these books, so I would recommend them. As you can see, I have a lot of chess books here that I haven't mentioned. I'm actually not the biggest fan of opening chess books. As you can see, I have Mayhem in the Mora here as a Smith Mora enjoyer and a big Mark Esserman fan. This is very fun, but am I gonna read a whole book on a chess opening? Me personally, no. Never. I will never read a chess openings book cover to cover. I just don't think it's realistic. I rarely study openings because I think they're the least important part of chess. Other books that's hard to go wrong with are just like puzzle books. This is a great one from Jen Shahadi that I'm so not biased towards because one of my games is featured in it. But basically puzzle books which have puzzles listed by theme, and then basically you just solve them. And what is good about using a puzzle book as opposed to doing puzzles online is I know that you and I are impatient creatures. We will just play the first move we see on chess.com and it will go, you got it wrong, and then you'll just play 3 different moves trying to find the right one. If you're using any kind of puzzle book, that is simply not possible, and you'll actually have to solve the puzzle and write it down and visualize it in your head because nobody is making the moves for you. This is truly the biggest downside to online puzzles, is it doesn't test your visualization calculation in the same way, because when you're looking at just like an image of a puzzle, no one's moving those pieces and you truly have to work for it. So that is the case where I would recommend books as being more educational than online puzzles, but of course the ease of access isn't there, and also there's barrier to entry of having to buy the book. I have purchased other chess books as gifts for example, my dad, who is a lower rating than me. He was around 11 or 1200 on daily chess. I bought him Capablanca's Chess Fundamentals. I bought him Logical Chess Move by Move. These are books which are highly recommended as beginner-friendly books. I know that Gotham Chess now has a beginner-friendly book. I honestly still wouldn't recommend beginners put a lot of money into buying chess books, just because I think there are better ways for beginners to improve. I think when it comes to like cult chess books like 101 Endgames You Must Know or the Woodpecker Method, these are probably just better as chessable courses. They probably just are. Like, you can have them in book form, but I would assume that uploaded to Chessable and done as spaced repetition, you'll actually probably retain more information from them by doing them online. Like I said, I have a lot more chess books in my home country, but I mean, there's a reason I didn't really bring them with me. My copy of How to Reassess Your Chess is back home, and I do sorely regret leaving that, but I could only bring the workbook or the book with me, so I'm going to go pick the book up this Christmas when I go and visit my family. Finally, I just want to remind you that no matter how many YouTube videos you watch on which books to buy, and no matter how many chess books you do buy, will not help you get better at chess unless you actually study. We all like to watch videos and buy things for chess and pretend that is us playing an interactive role in our chess improvement, but in reality the best thing you can do is play chess and analyze your games, and that is at the end of the day completely free of charge. Let me know down below if you would like any reviews on specific chess books, or let me know if you have any chess books you're thinking of buying and I'll let you know what I think of them. Otherwise, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.